All right, let's look at our example number two of having more than two atoms bonded together. So we're going to have carbon. And so if you put down your carbon card and take a glance at your periodic table, and you can see that carbon is in group 14. So if we take the group number and subtract 10, carbon would have four valence electrons. Okay, so again, I'm going to put single dots. You have squares. Okay. And so we can clearly see that carbon has four single dots. So the fact that carbon has four bonding electrons makes carbon an element on the periodic table that can bond the most number of times. So if carbon's present, it should always be your central atom. All right, hydrogen. So if we find hydrogen on the periodic table, we would see that this is in group 1, and we would place one valence electron around hydrogen. And so we can clearly see here that hydrogen only has one bonding electron. And so what we learned from this is that hydrogen can only bond once. Hydrogen should never be your central atom for that reason. All right, and then we can look at these and see that there are no lone pairs or no non-bonding pairs of electrons. All right, so we're going to slide my card over here so we can build my molecule. And we can see that carbon still has to bond 3 more times. So this tells me that this molecule is going to need 3 more hydrogens. So 1, 2, 3. And each of those hydrogens should have a bonding electron. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So again, we can draw our Lewis structure with dots, like we see here. So here's my carbon and my 4 hydrogens. And there's my bonding electron for hydrogen. And here's my bonding electron from carbon. And again, we could draw them with lines instead. And so carbon should always have 4 bonds when you're finished with its structure because it has 4 bonding electrons. Let me turn my camera a little bit so we can see that other hydrogen here. Okay. All right, and then remember that we want to obey the octet rule. So for hydrogen to obey the octet rule, it just needs to have 2 electrons to complete its valence shell so that it has the same electron configuration as its nearest noble gas, which is helium. So this hydrogen has 2. Oh, I forgot my dot here. This hydrogen has 2. This hydrogen has 2. And this hydrogen has 2. And then carbon would have to have 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So carbon has an octet. It would look like its nearest noble gas, which would be neon. Okay, so now we learn how to draw structures with more than 2 atoms.